We live in a society where financial literacy is among the most critical skills for achieving prosperity, yet paradoxically, it remains one of the least prioritized in formal education. From childhood, we are guided to follow a seemingly straightforward formula: study hard, secure a good job, save diligently, and hope for financial stability. However, this traditional narrative fails to account for the complex realities of today's financial systems, where the rules governing money are often opaque and increasingly multifaceted. The education system seldom addresses fundamental financial concepts such as taxes, debt, passive income, or the distinction between assets and liabilities. This omission is not just a gap in the curriculum, but a structural issue that intentionally or not perpetuates cycles of financial dependence. Meanwhile, those who accumulate wealth are well versed in these rules and adept at leveraging them to their advantage. They understand that money is not the end goal, but a versatile tool, a means to create opportunities, grow wealth, and achieve freedom. They master the art of making money work for them, rather than being confined to working for money. This distinction between financial dependence and independence begins with a different kind of education. Not the kind offered in traditional classrooms, but one that individuals must actively seek out. True financial education is a dynamic and ongoing process. It involves learning from real-world experiences, analyzing successes and failures, and applying actionable strategies tailored to one's goals. Crucially, it also requires a shift in mindset. Instead of surrendering to limitations with "I can't," adopting a problem-solving perspective by asking, "How can I?" This subtle yet transformative change in thinking can redefine the trajectory of a person's financial journey. A critical aspect of this education involves rethinking the roles of taxes and debt. Most people perceive taxes as an inescapable burden and debt as a dangerous pitfall. However, those who have mastered financial independence see them differently. Taxes, when managed strategically, can be minimized through legal incentives and deductions. Debt, when used wisely, can be a powerful tool to acquire income-producing assets such as real estate or investments. These are not inaccessible strategies, but practical techniques that anyone can learn and apply with the right knowledge and discipline. Reaching this level of understanding requires overcoming both external limitations and internal resistance. Fear of failure, ingrained beliefs about money, and a lack of access to practical resources are barriers that often keep individuals trapped in a scarcity mindset. However, growth begins when we recognize that mistakes are not insurmountable setbacks, but valuable lessons that pave the way for improvement. This discussion aims to illuminate how financial education, or its absence, shapes our potential for freedom and prosperity. We will delve into how the wealthy employ strategies that might seem unattainable, but, with proper understanding, are accessible to anyone willing to learn. Furthermore, we'll explore the significance of redefining our relationship with money, viewing challenges as opportunities, and fostering a proactive approach to financial growth. If you aspire to break free from financial constraints, shift your mindset, and take charge of your financial future, this exploration offers foundational principles to guide your transformation. The power to change your trajectory is within your grasp, and the journey begins the moment you choose to learn and act. We live in a world where the educational system, at its core, neglects one of the most fundamental pillars of a prosperous life: financial education. From a young age, we are encouraged to follow a predefined script: study, get a degree, secure a good job, and with luck, build a stable life. Yet at no point in this process are we taught how money actually works, how to manage it, or how to use it to our advantage. This omission is not the result of carelessness or disorganization, but of a system designed to perpetuate cycles of inequality. It benefits a minority who hold the knowledge and keeps the majority locked in repetitive patterns, struggling to survive within an economic model that was never designed to be fair. The impact of this is profound, affecting not only individuals' financial independence, but also how we perceive success and social mobility. Throughout this text, we will analyze how the education system, often in collusion with political and financial structures, lays the foundation for a society that prioritizes conformity and dependency. We will explore how these mechanisms operate together to deprive people of the knowledge necessary to break the cycle of poverty and stagnation. More than a critique, this is an invitation to reflect on what can be done to reverse this scenario and build a future where true financial education is accessible to all. Our educational system will never tell us certain truths, and that is no accident. It is part of a mechanism that sustains the cycle of fake money and subtly maintains control. They do not openly say, "We will train you to be an employee for the rest of your life." Instead, they structure education in a way that leads you directly to that outcome. It is a process so normalized that many people don't even notice it. But for those who can understand this message and break the cycle, a new life can begin. For those who do not, the pattern continues, falling into the same traps, perpetuating the same system. My rich dad taught me something fundamental. The rich play a completely different game than the one taught in schools around the world. What does school teach us about money? Absolutely nothing. And that is not a mistake or coincidence. It is a well-thought-out strategy because the best way to keep the poor and middle class working hard is to deprive them of the knowledge the rich possess. If you read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, you will see that one of the biggest differences lies in what the rich teach their children. Lessons about money, investments, and how to make it work for them. Meanwhile, the children of the middle and lower classes often grow up without this foundation, keeping them trapped in a cycle they can hardly break free from. Poverty hurts. It is a feeling no one likes to face. I certainly don't. And something that deeply troubles me is how our academic systems have become as corrupted as the banking or political systems. We already know the banks are corrupt. We know politics is too. But few realize that the educational system is equally compromised. The problem is that we entrust our children to this system. We believe it will guide them to a better future, but in reality, it deprives them of learning something as fundamental as financial knowledge. Many people follow the advice to save money, ignoring the fact that while they do so, governments and banks continue printing currency, devaluing what has been saved. My rich dad taught me about the workings of money in a practical, often challenging, but invaluable way. He would say, "If you want to succeed in life, you must learn from the best teachers, and a great teacher comes from within, not from outside." However, in schools, you rarely know if the teacher is truly qualified or simply following a system-imposed curriculum. This realization drove me to seek direct guidance from my rich dad. When I asked him to teach me about money, his response was surprising. "Why should I teach you? If I teach you, would you work for me for free?" I was puzzled and asked, "But why for free?" At that moment, my poor dad intervened, indignant. But Rich Dad's reasoning was clear. "If I pay you, you'll think like an employee. Your brain will be conditioned to trade time for money. But if you learn never to work for money, you'll become a rich man." This lesson completely changed my perspective. He explained that once someone becomes dependent on a paycheck, their brain shuts off, relying solely on the promise of financial security. This mirrors the principle of the metaphor. Give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day. Teach him to fish and he'll eat for a lifetime. Unfortunately, most people confuse assets with liabilities. For example, they believe their houses are assets when, in reality, they are liabilities. If money is flowing out of your pocket, it's a liability. If it's coming in, it's an asset. I own more than 7,000 rental properties. These are my assets. They bring me money every month. Meanwhile, many people own expensive homes with high costs that drain their finances. Additionally, most people fail to understand that their largest expense in life is taxes. Ironically, they don't even realize it. Take a paycheck, for example. Look at the deductions, and you'll often see that a significant portion goes to the government. This lack of awareness about how taxes affect our finances is one of the biggest differences between the rich and the poor. The rich understand the three types of income: earned income, portfolio income, and passive income. Earned income is the money you make from working, like doctors or programmers who trade time for money. Portfolio income, on the other hand, comes from investments, such as buying a stock for $10 and selling it for $20. But passive income is the most powerful. It's the cash flow that continuously comes in without constant work and is often not taxed. While most people complain about the wealthy paying little in taxes, the truth is that they don't understand the rules of the game. Jeff Bezos, for example, earned billions and paid zero in taxes, and this is completely legal. The secret lies in how the rich utilize assets and debt. They don't have traditional jobs. They own income-generating assets. Most people, however, send their children to schools that teach nothing about money. This failure in financial education is one of the main reasons so many remain stuck in the same cycle of work and debt. My rich dad always said, "A house is only an asset if it puts money in your pocket." That's why the government incentivizes people like me who provide housing, create jobs, and take on loans to generate more cash flow. After the 2008 crash, for example, banks lent me $300 million because they understand that money is created through debt. Unfortunately, many people fear using debt to their advantage because they lack financial education. They say things like, "I can't afford to do that," or "I can't pay for that." These phrases are mental traps. My poor dad used to say things like, "I'm a teacher, I can't do that." On the other hand, Rich Dad taught me to never say, "I can't." Instead, the question should be, "How can I?" This simple shift in internal dialogue makes all the difference. The reason many people remain poor is that they condition their minds to accept limitations. I've made many mistakes along the way, but each one taught me something valuable. I learned that if you're willing to think differently, seek knowledge, and act with determination, you can transform your financial life and break free from the cycle of scarcity. So, never say, "I can't." Start right now by asking, "How can I?" This change in mindset is the first step toward achieving true financial freedom. This mindset shift is something I learned along my journey. I remember when I needed to borrow $300 million. It wasn't easy. I was rejected countless times. Every time I presented my financials, the analysts simply looked and said, "Sorry, sir, but we can't approve your request." These constant rejections could have discouraged me, but instead I saw each rejection as a learning opportunity. I decided to question one of the people handling my case and asked, "Why exactly are you rejecting me?" He responded clearly, "Look, the numbers you presented are here, but they need to be here, at this higher level. Adjust them and come back when you're ready." That moment was revealing. I realized that rejection wasn't an end, but an invitation to improve. It was the same process I went through when my proposal was rejected for 6 consecutive months. It wasn't just about numbers or financial strategies, but about willpower, perseverance, and above all, self-confidence. It was during this time that I learned the importance of signaling to myself, "I can do this," or asking myself, "How can I achieve this?" One of the deepest lessons I internalized came from the Bible, which says, "The words become flesh." From that point on, I understood that the power of what we declare and believe shapes our reality. Intelligence and wisdom don't come from a life free of mistakes, but from an existence full of challenges, ups and downs, and above all, lessons learned from each of them. The real estate sector was just one area where I applied this knowledge. It wasn't just about the money I earned over time, but the knowledge I gained, and that was undoubtedly my greatest asset. I believe that all human beings go through low points in their lives. It is these difficult experiences that test our resilience. If we can capture the hidden message in each difficulty, we can be reborn with a new perspective, a new determination, and a new life. However, for those who fail to recognize or absorb these lessons, the cycle of downfall repeats continuously. I made many mistakes, and I'm not ashamed of it. The fear of making mistakes is what keeps many people from moving forward. It's the fear of failure that keeps so many stuck in the same system, never daring to step out of their comfort zones. But it's important to understand that mistakes are not the end. They are opportunities in disguise, invitations for us to grow, learn, and achieve something greater than we ever imagined. The educational system, social beliefs, and self-imposed limitations create a cycle that traps many people in the idea that working hard, saving money, and avoiding debt are the only paths to financial security. However, this approach overlooks the structural changes in the global economy and the knowledge the rich have about how money really works. It's crucial to recognize that the system is structured to benefit those who understand the rules of the financial game, while others are left on the margins, often due to lack of information and proper education. One of the greatest lessons from my rich dad was about developing a solution and opportunity-oriented mindset. While many people repeat phrases like, "I can't afford it," or "it's impossible for me," the wealthy ask themselves, "How can I make this work?" This shift in perspective, no matter how simple it may seem, is a powerful tool for reconfiguring our approach to money and life. The rich don't just work for money, they make money work for them. This lesson begins with a clear understanding of assets and liabilities. Most people confuse their biggest liabilities, like expensive homes and unnecessary expenses, with assets. The secret is building a solid base of assets that generate passive income. Real estate, well-planned investments, or businesses that continue to run even in your absence. Moreover, understanding the role of taxes and debt is crucial for those who want to transform their relationship with money and achieve financial freedom. While most people view taxes as an inescapable inevitability, the rich develop legal and smart strategies to minimize this burden. This includes using real estate investments, business partnerships, and carefully planned tax incentives, which are often overlooked by the middle and lower classes simply due to a lack of knowledge. These strategies aren't just tools to save money. They are instruments that allow the wealthy to redirect their resources into new investments, generating even more prosperity. On the other hand, debt, often seen as something negative, is perceived completely differently by the wealthy. They understand that debt, when managed well, is one of the most powerful ways to leverage resources and build wealth. Instead of avoiding debt at all costs, they strategically use it to acquire assets that generate income. That's why, even during economic crises like the 2008 financial collapse, banks continue to lend large sums to those who demonstrate the ability to turn borrowed capital into solid and sustainable cash flow. However, these practices are not taught in schools. Financial education remains absent from traditional curricula, leaving most people without the knowledge necessary to make smart financial decisions. Instead, we are taught to work hard, save money, and avoid debt, a model that only perpetuates the cycle of the middle class and poverty. True financial education isn't a subject you study for one semester. It's an ongoing journey of learning that requires dedication, practice, and often the courage to face mistakes. The fear of making mistakes is one of the biggest obstacles to financial growth. Many people hesitate to take action out of fear of failure, believing that a mistake or failure will define them or lead to irreparable consequences. However, it's crucial to recognize that failure isn't the end of the journey. It's an essential part of learning and growth. Every mistake carries a valuable lesson that cannot be learned in any other way. It's through these ups and downs that we develop practical intelligence, emotional resilience, and the ability to identify opportunities that others simply cannot see. The most successful individuals often speak about their failures as being more instrumental in their growth than their successes, as each failure teaches us something that we wouldn't have learned otherwise. Failure is not something to be feared, but rather something to embrace, as it pushes us to think differently, adapt, and become more resourceful. When we allow ourselves to fail and view it as a lesson, we develop a deeper understanding of our strengths, weaknesses, and the world around us. In turn, this makes us better equipped to make informed decisions, seize opportunities, and avoid repeating the same mistakes. It's also in these moments of difficulty that we often uncover new paths and ways of thinking that would never have been apparent in times of ease. Those who can persist through failure with a mindset of continuous improvement are often the ones who reach extraordinary heights of success. Additionally, those who master concepts like passive income, the difference between assets and liabilities, and the importance of cultivating a growth mindset have the power to break free from the cycle of financial dependence. But this transformation doesn't happen overnight or automatically. It requires a conscious effort, an intentional shift in how we approach money and life in general. It takes time to unlearn old, limiting beliefs, to replace harmful habits with healthier ones, and to adopt a new set of behaviors and attitudes that are geared toward achieving success. This means reprogramming our mindset to focus on growth and opportunities rather than scarcity and obstacles. It's about finding solutions where others only see problems and thinking long-term, understanding that every step forward, no matter how small, is a part of the bigger picture. Another crucial aspect of this process is choosing the right mentors. As Rich Dad wisely said, "A good teacher comes from within, not from outside." This means that the best mentors are not just those who possess knowledge or theoretical expertise, but those who have practical, real-world experience. A great mentor teaches not only through words, but through actions and strategies that apply directly to the challenges you face. The right mentor is someone who has already navigated the path you're looking to follow and can guide you through the process of achieving your own success. Seeking mentors who have already achieved what you want is one of the most effective ways to shorten the path to success, as it helps you avoid unnecessary detours and mistakes, allowing you to focus your energy on the most important steps. The central message here isn't just about money. It's about personal empowerment and transformation. Taking control of your financial life means challenging systems and beliefs that limit your possibilities. It's about changing your internal dialogue, replacing "I can't" with "how can I?" and adopting a practical, determined approach to turning your dreams into reality. When you shift your mindset from one of limitation to one of possibility, your entire world changes. You begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles, and solutions where others see problems. It's about learning to think creatively and outside of the box, taking calculated risks, and pushing yourself beyond what you thought was possible. True financial freedom goes beyond accumulating wealth. It's about having control over your choices, the independence to decide without fear of scarcity, and the power to create a strategic and conscious future. It's not just about acquiring assets, but about living according to your values, directing your time and energy, and shaping your life with autonomy. It means having the resources to live on your own terms, free from external impositions. This freedom begins with continuous financial education, which requires constant learning, innovation, and action. Improving your understanding and adapting to financial changes expands your opportunities and control over your destiny. Mindset changes are essential. Instead of thinking, "I can't," ask yourself, "How can I make this work?" Viewing obstacles as opportunities transforms your financial journey. Your greatest tool is your mindset, which guides your decisions and actions. Let go of limiting beliefs, learn from mistakes, and use money as a means to create possibilities. Financial freedom begins with the first step. Take that step today.